This is a brief look at the history of theory of change in 3.5 minutes. And as with so many areas of impact evaluation, there are multiple terms describing the same concepts, and differing ideas about where theory of change comes from. The most compelling case for the team at InFocus is that theory of change is part of the family of approaches that look at the theoretical foundations of social programs. These are often grouped under the terms program theory, program evaluation, or theory-based evaluation. We picked out this definition for program theory from a report from the European Commission. In particular, we regard the final sentence, i.e. collections, assumptions, and hypothesis, empirically testable that are logically linked together, as a useful if lengthy way of summing up the similarities between the different approaches that exist under the umbrella of theory-based evaluation. In the book Evaluation of Systematic Approach by Peter Rossi, Mark Lipsey, and Howard Freeman, the authors suggest although program evaluation is a relatively recent development, the activities behind it in assessing and evaluating our response to social problems are not new. In the 18th century, in the British Navy, a disease called scurvy, which occurred because of a lack of vitamin C, killed thousands of British sailors. In an extract from the book Limeys, The Conquest of Scurvy, a British naval captain observed the relative lack of scurvy when the ship's crew had access to citrus fruits in the Mediterranean. He therefore made half his crew consume limes, and the other half continue on the regular diet. The author suggests that what he was actually conducting was a social experiment, and this can possibly be seen as an early example of program theory. The evaluation of program theory could be seen to have been developed from the need to evaluate the large-scale social programs in the Great Society of the 1960s, and also in the thinking coming out of Brazil in the 1970s, where educators such as Freire advocated new approaches to the causes of poverty. Freire puts forward that humans are subjects in and with the world, and consciousness is determined by the socio-economic and political context, and also by cultural conditioning through one's upbringing, education, or religion. Finally, in the 1990s, there was a need to reflect the complexity of how social change occurs in programs and projects within the program theory approach, and this led to the Aspen Research Institute's Roundtable on Community Change. In 1995, an article by Carol Weiss from Aspen popularized the term theory of change, and put forward a process that helped to define the small and intervening steps that led from activities to outcomes. This led to a number of organizations in the 1990s adopting the approach in the US, and both of the recent Comic Relief and Department for International Development reports in the UK, that we reference in this module, highlight the Aspen approach of theory of change as the most widely adopted in the development sector.